Hello, everyone. I'm Peaceful Nick the Medium, otherwise known as Nicole. That's my name, my real name. I have a bunch of specials I want to talk about in upcoming events. Right now, for February, I have a buy one, get one free reading special. So if you buy a full price reading, either 30 or 45-minute reading, you get another mediumship reading for free. So, hello everyone who's joining. I also have relationship and love guidance readings. These are the number one questions I get when I'm doing my live streams about relationships and love. So, I have readings for that too. Now, I don't predict whether your relationship is going to fall apart or be successful. I give you guidance based on years and years and years of experience, and I've been married almost 30 years, and years of therapy, years of counseling people. I give you guidance on how maybe you could navigate certain situations. So I appreciate everyone being here. I have the Spirit Exchange with medium Kathy Behrens. She's on here. Everybody say hi to Kathy. That is March 2nd. That is our last Spirit Exchange for this round. We're starting a new round in April, an updated version. We will have guest speakers, guest readers. We will have all kinds of new stuff going on in our Spirit Exchange. These are gallery style readings with a maximum of 25 people in the gallery, and it's 90 minutes long. So stay tuned for all of that information. I also will be live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I did miss last Wednesday. I'm still recovering from some kind of illness. I think it's some type of flu or something. So I'm really not 100%. But thanks to the TikTok filter, it makes me look smooth. I love the TikTok filter. So let's see if we can get some people on here. Hi, Rachel. Hi everyone, Kathy's here. Make sure everybody's saying hi to Kathy and following her, and ask me any questions. This is the most I've talked in a week at one time, so my throat is already scratchy. I always have Halls nearby, just in case. Thank you, Kathy. I have lamps up everywhere. You got the number one gifter badge, Kathy. Hi, Johanna. Rachel's clicking like. Sharing the video might also help get it out there. I know it's the middle of the day on a Tuesday. Yeah, I'm feeling a little sweaty, actually. I think I've had a fever this whole time. I went to the doctor yesterday, and it's just the usual gunk going around. I didn't want to have a bunch of, flu tests and COVID tests and all that. So they just, said fluids, rest, blah, blah, blah. Hi, Christy. Hi, A Soul's Journey. Hello, everyone. And so again, I have a buy one, get one free special for February. So any full reading you book on my website for February, you get a free reading. Hello, Brooke and Earthchild. Everyone follow Kathy. Rachel, hello. Textural, Stephanie. Again, Spirit Exchange is March 2nd, and the new Spirit Exchange, you'll be hearing about it from Kathy and myself. And I'll be live on YouTube tomorrow at 8 p.m. So anybody have any questions? One of the most common questions I get is, how do I find my spirit guide? I have plenty of videos and a free guide to finding your spirit guide on my website. It's all linked in the you-know-where. If you go to my website, at the top it says free guide for finding your spirit guide. You click the button, you put in your email, it shoots you the free guide to finding your spirit guide with video links embedded in the document. And it's totally free, no obligation. There's some good stuff in there. But basically, you have to raise your awareness or consciousness up above your head. So we have the left brain and the right brain. The right brain is more the creative, spiritual side of the brain, and the left brain is the more analytical. So we want to slow down the analytical thoughts in our brain. On this side, we want to slow it down, take some deep breaths, and then elevate our awareness. I imagine a big bubble rising up above my head, but everybody will come to their own technique on their own. And hi, Cha-Cha, how are you? How are you doing, sweetheart? I know it's kind of silly for me to come on here in the middle of the day, but I just need to get back on here. And I might go live later tonight too. But I'm glad you're here. I'm recovering from some kind of gunk, so I'm not really 100%. Kathy says, can you explain what the oversoul is? Funny you mentioned that. I just was looking at my drawing of the oversoul. So an oversoul is a combination of all of the information of all the lives you've ever led. Most mediums believe in reincarnation, and that means you've lived many lives. And so your oversoul is this big soul, and each life is connected to the oversoul. So only a little bit of the soul goes in each life, but all the information is hosted here. It's like a mainframe computer. I don't know how workplaces, if they do this the same way, but back in the day when computers were first going into all workplaces, there was always a room in every place with a mainframe. And that's a big room with a bunch of computer stuff and wires. And all of the laptops in the workplace all connected to the mainframe. And that's where all the information for all the laptops in the whole place was stored. And so I look at the oversoul as the mainframe computer in a building, and each laptop in the building is a different life you've lived, and it's all connected. So that's how I look at it. So that is a wonderful question. Thank you. Hello. Yeah, Cha-Cha, lots of F-bugs going around. Absolutely, for sure. Oh, Rachel, good question. Let me take a sip. I have my coffee. And my nails aren't done because I've been sick, so don't judge. I've been picking them. And that's okay. How do I truly believe in spirit and not have my head try not to accept it? Well, listen, I'm a scientist, right? I've worked in science for over 20 years, and I never, ever thought I was going to be a medium. And I started having mediumship experiences that were pretty intense. And I said, I'm going to do an experiment on myself. So the proof is in the amount of evidence you get repeatedly in different readings or different signs. If you're asking for signs from loved ones in spirit, if you're not a medium, you're just asking for signs from people. If it's consistent and in kind of like there's no other explanation for something that happened, and you keep having these consistent events that there's no logical scientific explanation, the preponderance of evidence suggests that there's something other than what we see, feel, and hear. Now, I will tell you, I love Suzanne Giesemann. I love her stuff. She's a famous medium. If you don't know who she has an incredible story. She was on Mayim Bialik's podcast today. It came out. Now, that's important because Mayim Bialik, not only is she an actress, that's secondary to the fact that she's a neuroscientist with a PhD. And she interviewed Suzanne Giesemann. So go watch that podcast. It's called Mayim Bialik something. You can Google it. It'll pop right up because she gets like millions of views. But Maya Bialik, neuroscientist, she's using this side of the brain. Suzanne Giesemann was a military commander of some kind, and for years and years she was military. She was chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff or she had some big job in the Pentagon. So she's left brain. Well, she started having mediumship stuff happening, and that uses this side. So you have to quiet the analytical, open up the spiritual or artistic or more creative side of your brain, and you have to test it. Like I've told my spirit guide story many times. I thought it was BS when my mentor told me to find my spirit guide and ask him for a sign. I rolled my eyes literally, and I'm like, oh, cuss words, doubt. And then I had the most incredible validation from my guides repeatedly over 3 days that were unbelievable. I've told the story many times. Basically, I asked for a snow globe, got one on social media, then got another one on social media. I blew that off. Went to the golf store with my husband. There was one on the counter. It was not Christmas time. It was nowhere near Christmas time. Went to work the next day, went into one of the offices, and along the wall were hundreds of snow globes a lady had been collecting for 40 years. And then, not long after, my son and daughter-in-law bought me a Mars snow globe. And so people started buying me snow globes. Now, I can tell you, my son and daughter-in-law did not know that story. They would not have known that. Or, they're not paying attention. They were adults. They didn't live with me. So that is, you have to ask spirit, for, sorry, I'm trying to read the comments and answer the question. You have to ask spirit for consistent signs. So, or if you're becoming a medium, like if you're trying to become a medium, when you get evidence that is consistent over and over and over and over and over again, that's how I knew I was definitely a medium. Because when I started my training, I literally knew nothing. Absolutely nothing about mediumship. Nothing at all. I took a class and I felt real dumb because I didn't. And there's still things. Kathy's on here. She was trained by several different mentors. I only had one mentor. And so there's still things I have to ask her, little details about this, that, or the other, that I just didn't have 10 mentors. I just had the one. And so I was very busy working and taking care of, different things in my family. So I didn't have a lot of time to do a bunch of different stuff. So, you have to let me know, Rachel, if you are going to be taking classes or you've taken classes, all that. And then I have another question. Lovely. Hold on a minute. I'm doing answering questions first. Do you believe there's a waiting period before being reincarnated? Technically, that's a great question. Because of our oversoul, which I showed earlier, all of these lives are technically according to physics and spirituality. Everything's really happening simultaneously. We observe linear time on Earth because we have a clock and we have morning, we have noon, and we have night. We follow the linear timeline of our life, but in the universe, there's no linear timeline like we follow here. So, if my grandpa passed away, can my grandson a month later be reincarnated as him? I see no problem with that. Some people say it's 100 years. I think I've quoted that before, a long, probably 3 or 4 years ago. But I think anything's possible, and I don't think there needs to be a waiting period, because some people also believe one soul can be in two people at the same time on Earth. So that's like a double incarnation. So I don't think there has to be a waiting period. I would say that if people think someone they love very dearly passed away, a pet or a human, and then someone else comes into their life soon after, a new pet or a new baby, be discerning before you think it's the reincarnated version. You need to have a basis of evidence to discern whether that's a reincarnation. You need to not just hope it, think it, or feel it. You need to have some evidence around it. Great question. Drops of Stardust, our school district closed to high illness. Woo, where are you? That's crazy. What else? Brooke, have you done mediumship readings with children like 13? I've had a couple, I think 3 people ask me to do readings with young children from 5 to like 16. I asked my friend Kathy, who's on here, everybody follow her, Medium Kathy. I asked her and our other colleague Wendy what they would do if someone asked them to do a reading for a 5-year-old with the parent present. And they both, from what I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, Kathy, recommended, no, that's not ethical. So I declined doing that reading. I have done readings with 13 and 16-year-olds with the parents present because they're a little older. The situations were a little bit different. So yes, with the parents' permission, with the parent present only, would I do that. But I think 5 was a little young for that. I don't want to do any damage. 5 is really young. Yeah, Kathy has done readings with teens and parents. Yeah. 5's it's too young. And again, I have buy one, get one free for all my full readings on my website now. There's 30-minute and 45-minute. If you book one, you get a free one. So if you're going to bring 2 people, it'll just be the cost of one reading. Or you can have one reading for one person and then a few months later, or gift it to somebody else. You could do that as well. Or have another reading for yourself a few months later. Ooh, Alex. Oh, I'm glad Kathy's on here because Kathy, Medium Kathy, is a specialist in animal communication. And Alex says, is evidential mediumship and animal communication similar or different? So as far as communication with animals who've passed over, it's very, very much the same. If you mean animal communication with an animal that's living, I've not purposefully ever tried to do that, so I can't answer to that about a living animal, like trying to get information. So Jessica, go for it. They are buy one, get one free right now. The website is I can't type on here for some reason. It doesn't let me type. peacefulnikthemedium.com, and it's all linked in my bio. I have a link tree in my bio and it'll take you there. Hi, Kelly. I wish dogs could talk. I know. Let's see. It's so funny. The Colbert Late Show wants to, says invite Colbert Late Show to co-host now. That's hilarious. Okay, what else do we have? Just going through. For some reason, and I appreciate all the likes so much, but for some reason, it shows me every time somebody clicks like. So it's clogging it up. Thank you, Christy. Thank you, Janae. All right, let's see. I can't see the time. Everything has been so different on here since the banana. I'm a little warm. Okay, it's 3:17. All right, so I pulled some cards right before this live. And I have 4 different decks sitting here. The first one I pulled was from Cosmic Energy Oracle cards. Oh, here's some Alex. Thank you. Feeling called to learn communication and learn animal communication and find it so similar. Do you mean living or passed away animals, Alex? The broken mom. I have so many questions on what's real since losing my son. It's hard to know the truth. Oh. Kathy, you got muted for some reason. Is anyone else in your family a medium? In my family, not an active medium. I believe my youngest son will be someday. I have lots of stories about that. Let's see, the broken mom. It's hard to know the truth. The broken mom, you're referring to questions surrounding your son's passing? Are there some unanswered questions about what happened? Is that what you're referring to? Hi from South Africa. And Kathy, my mom probably had psychic abilities. I'm almost 100% sure she did, but she passed away so young. And then Alex said both. Hi, Jen, always positive. So, learning animal communication with passed away animals is very similar to learning mediumship for people. Learning animal communication with living animals, I don't know, Kathy's on here. I want to see what she has to say. She might be able to answer that question because that's her specialty. Oh, great question, the broken mom. Lots of unanswered questions. So are you wondering, I keep hearing, who was involved? Who was involved? Is that what you're wondering? Was somebody else involved? Where are they really? Is heaven real? Is reading real? How do we know? Okay. I'm going to write this question because it's going to disappear in a second. Where are they? Heaven real? How do we know? Okay, I want to make sure to answer all of those. So, where are they? They are in another realm or dimension. So, I'm a scientist and I'm a medium. So, I talk a lot about quantum physics. And we know through physics that there are more dimensions than the 3 dimensions we see, right? There's more than this. So what we see with our eyes is only a tiny bit of the spectrum. There's a much bigger part of the spectrum as far as the electromagnetic spectrum. There's a much bigger realm of dimensions aside from what we can see, feel, and hear here on this earth. The dimension where spirit is overlaps our dimension here. So they're really everywhere all at once. Our souls are made of quanta, which are packets of energy, like a packet of light from the sun's called a photon. Our soul is a quanta. It's a little packet of energy. And so they can come and go and be in more than one place. They can be in a million places at once. So they can visit you. They can visit other people. So it's woven overlapping us. That's why we mediums and anybody else can communicate with loved ones in spirit, because it's right here. They're right here next to us. Most people can't see them. We can be trained to see them, feel them, and hear them. So that's where they are. They're everywhere. Heaven is not a faraway place out in space on a cloud. That's not where it is. It's really everywhere. Most people just can't perceive it. So yes, heaven is real. And how do we know if getting readings is real? By the evidence. So I could give you a reading and say, so I'm seeing like some kind of necklace or chain. Like, I don't know if you have like a pendant from your son, or you wear a necklace with his picture, or someone has his ashes, something like that. So let's give that example. Okay. Let's say that is a correct piece of evidence. And then I give 10 other correct pieces of evidence. And now I see a little box with some things in it. Okay, so he knows you're here and he's just telling me these little blips of things. Let's say all of those things are correct. And there's something, and he's showing me something in the box, a little toy or trinket or action figure, something like that. And so they'll show me these things. Now, if I give you several pieces of evidence that are like unusual or random sounding, but they're correct, it's a good bet that that I'm connecting to your son for you, right? Now, if a medium just says your son is safe and at peace, he's proud of you and he loves you and he wants you to let go, that's not a very detailed reading. All of those things may be true, but you want to have evidence that is specific enough for you, okay? That makes sense for you. So I'm going to scroll through. I have 99 new messages, so right. Kathy said verifiable pieces of information that you and your loved one share. Correct. Thank you, because my brain's not fully back yet. And I'm just looking through. Thank you, Kathleen. Oh, thank you, Jen. Always positive. Oh, I appreciate that so much. Kathy. Okay, so Kathy must. So I love how you explain. Oh, so I don't know if Broken Mom's still here because I can't. All the comments are like, click like. Oh, great, thanks. She said. Okay. Did you understand? Okay, there you are. Okay, all the comments got all crazy. That's been happening since we can't update it. Did you understand either of those pieces of evidence? The chain, the necklace with something on it, and the box with the toy or action figure in it? I'm glad you guys are here. Okay. Can I invite you on? You don't have to show your face, Broken Mom. Okay. Can I invite you on? Okay. Let me try and see if it pops up. Oh, there it is. Ooh. It should. Are you there?
I'm here.
Hi. I'm going to turn up my volume so I can hear you. It's nice to hear your voice.
Thanks.
Thanks
for calling me on.
You're welcome. So keep the box with the little trinket or action figure in the back of your mind for later. You may come across it later. You may remember it later. That's what we call psychic amnesia. So sometimes we don't remember things right off the bat, and later you'll remember. Okay. So you do understand the necklace and the unanswered questions with somebody else involved?
Yes.
Okay. Because that's what he said to me. He asked that question, so he's making me feel like that's your question. He's saying candelabra. So I don't know if that's a reference to a Disney film, the Disney film with the candelabra.
I don't recognize it.
I think it's Beauty and the Beast. Anyway, But he's showing me more than one candle together. So I don't know if you light candles at church or something, or you draw 3 candles in a row.
So he was a type 1 diabetic, and they made candles to say goodbye every year at his diabetic camp. And we use those when we do honor stuff for him.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
My son is a type 1 diabetic, and I understand. It's a very challenging disease. And unless you've gone through it, you can't understand it. Because it's...
Yeah, he lost his life to type 1.
Okay. Sorry, it's hard because, the mama heart feels it deeply for you. Okay. And he's talking about his cascade of problems from the diabetes. So, like, something happened, an infection, something happened to his lung or his cardiovascular system, something, like a whole bunch of different things happened. Is that what happened? Like this, and this?
Yeah. He ended up on DKA, and if you know much, you know what DKA is, and your blood is so thick that it blew his heart out.
Okay. Because he made me feel like something went to his lung from his cardiovascular system. So when the heart blows, the clots go everywhere. So
I was able to donate his lungs because of the fluid in them.
Okay, thank you. Okay, that makes sense. That's why he kept saying lung, lung, lung. Okay. Was he like rationing his insulin or not taking it properly? Is that why he went DKA? Okay, for those of you who don't know, DKA is diabetic ketoacidosis. That's the scientific term for it. That is when your body can't process the sugar and the sugar stays in your blood because insulin is what takes the sugar into your cells to be metabolized. And when it doesn't go into the cells, it stays in the blood, and then it makes your blood very acidic, which ultimately your body cannot sustain a pH of much lower than 7.4, which is what your blood pH is supposed to be. I learned all this because it happened to my son. So this is why Spirit brought you here. And then he's talking about his eyes. Did he have very beautiful eyes?
He had pretty green eyes.
Okay, because he's saying my eyes were so beautiful, and he's showing me his eyelashes. He's like, tell my mom about my eyelashes. Do you understand that?
Not really.
Okay. He wants you to know he had beautiful eyes, and he wants to point to his eyelashes. Okay. He's having me draw eyelashes. And then he's showing me a photo of himself. And do you have his photo set up with like a candle by it or some type of trinket by it?
Not necessarily. I have a whole bunch like right here. I've taken so much stuff to storage because I've decided I'm going to be a gypsy and move and just be a gypsy for a while and get healing. But I have like this one.
Oh, he's so handsome.
It sits right here on my desk. I carry this pump a lot.
Okay. He's just showing me the picture, and then I don't know. There's something next to it. He's showing me. I don't know if it's a bottle, perfume bottle, stapler. I don't know. He's showing me there's something next to it. All right, that doesn't matter.
Cup. Got dolphins on it. I mean, killer whales.
What is that?
Killer whales.
Oh, that's fun. Did he like killer whales?
I do.
Oh, you do. Okay. Did you hear about the killer whales are killing a bunch of sharks like all over? That's so crazy. They're attacking their livers. Um, all right. So just know that he is safe and at peace. And um, is your question about was there negligence at the hospital? Is that what your question is?
It was negligence from his father.
Oh.
He was mad at me because he was going through what all 22-year-olds go through, depression and mind over here, and everything was being put aside, including his diabetes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He was dating a girl he shouldn't have, and the girl nor his dad ever cared enough to learn about diabetes, and he collapsed at his dad's house, and his dad didn't know what DKA was or the signs.
That is unfortunate. And so what you have to do is at 22, he's an adult. He was very, angry about having diabetes and didn't want to deal with it. So he just put it out of his mind and wanted to live his life. And yeah. And so you just have to understand that that's something, no matter what you would have ever told him, no matter how much counseling you may have sent him to or training or whatever, he had to process it in his own way, because it's like an alcoholic. You can send an alcoholic to rehab, but if they're not ready to quit drinking, they're going to keep drinking. And it's the same way with a chronic illness, because it's so hard to process emotionally for the person, because it's like 24/7, forever. There's no letting up on it. And so it's a very, can cause a lot of depression, a lot of anger, a lot of anxiety, a lot of adversarial behavior, and it's very common. So have you ever heard of Helping Parents Heal? It's a wonderful organization. My friend Kathy, certified medium Kathy here, is a part of it. She's a reader for them. But they have a lot of resources for parents who are mourning. It's helpingparentsheal.org. And so you might want to check out their website, and they have a Facebook page. And that might help you with that. And just know that your son knows now what he did was, he's just saying it was stupid. I know what I did was stupid. But he said ultimately he has to take responsibility. It's not his dad, 22 is an adult. He knew what to do, and he should have taken better care of himself. And so he's just saying it's his responsibility. He's like, I know you have opinions about my dad. It's like, I know you have opinions about it, but it's technically your son's taking responsibility, even though the other people, the girlfriend and the dad, should have cared more. It was ultimately his responsibility. So he wants you to forgive yourself and know that there's nothing you could have done to change it, because if it wouldn't have happened then, probably would have happened a week later or a month later, or some other time, because he said, now I don't know if these are the exact words he would use, but he's like, Mom, you hounding me about it just made me do the opposite, But not to blame you. He's just saying that his human mind was adversarial and would be like, no, I'm not going to listen because I'm stubborn, because I'm mad, because this disease sucks and I don't want to deal with it. So it's not your fault. That's not what he's trying to say. He's just trying to say he was stubborn about it. He should have done better. But not for you to blame yourself or anyone else. It's something that happened, and he doesn't want you to suffer forever blaming yourself. He said, you have life to live, you have things to look forward to, and he doesn't want you to live suffering because he's not here physically. And so just know he's safe in that peace. And he said, I felt no pain. He's worried that you're worried he was in pain. Is that what you're worried about? He said the most important thing, I felt no pain at my passing. And he just wants you to know that. And he said, my soul left my body before my body actually even passed because he knew he was passing. Was he in the hospital when he passed? It makes me feel like he's like floating around the room, like looking at himself like, what's going on? You know, looking at the people who were there, like, what's going on?
Yeah, his heart gave out, and then like 3 days later, and lots of tests, they just declared him brain dead.
Yeah, he makes me feel very much like he was just kind of bouncing around the room, you know, wondering what the big deal was because he was released from his body in the pain. And he's talking about music. Did he like, I almost feel like it's rock music, but that's the kind of music I like. Did he like music? It was rock music? Because he's making me feel like he loved music. So just know that, and what was his name?
Christian.
Christian. Oh, how beautiful. Just know that Christian loves you. He's safe and at peace. And are you asking him for signs already?
Yes.
Okay. Are you getting them?
Well, logic tells me a lot of things that aren't real, right? Like sometimes, and then sometimes I'm like, I've had a dream of him talking to me, and then I'm like, well, it's just a dream. Did he really talk to me? You know.
So the way to know the difference is, did it feel like a real event that went in order? Like, did you understand the conversation? Did it kind of linger with you, you know, through the day? When that happens, that's a dream visitation. When it's just kind of like a flash and everything's kind of discombobulated, you know how dreams are, they don't make sense. That's just a dream. But if it made sense and it's lingering and it's like you really felt his presence, that's a visitation. And a lot of people wait years for visitations. So it's wonderful that you're having that. He's coming to just say, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm here. I'm okay. And he doesn't want you to worry that he suffered. Okay, I hope that helps. And from one type 1 diabetic mama to another, I understand the struggle. My son was a junior in high school, perfectly healthy his whole entire life. Had a collapsed lung spontaneously, went DKA 2 weeks later, was in a coma. So we had no idea, no idea at all. No clue. Never had any. No one in either of our families, my husband or my family, was diabetic. No one. We were completely shocked. So I send my full whole heart out to you, and know that your son he's safe and at peace. And keep asking for a sign, but make sure it's the same specific sign. Okay. And then he's flickering my light over here. So does your light flicker? Look for a light flicker or something weird electronically.
He messes with my phone a lot, I think. I can't do that, but my phone does weird things it never used to do.
Okay, yeah, because he's like, electronics. Yeah, keep an eye on that. Thank you for coming up on screen and allowing me to talk to Christian. What a sweet, sweet, wonderful soul. And he is saying, don't forget my eyelashes. I don't know why he keeps talking about that, but he thought he had nice eyelashes.
He did.
Thank you so very much. And I'm not sure how to make this go back to one screen, so I don't know. We'll just start pressing buttons.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Bye, thank you. Oh, okay. All right, am I here? Okay. You told me that I got a bright LED flashlight in my eyes for my daughter. Oh, awesome. Hi, Carol. Hi, everyone. All right, I missed a lot of comments. Yeah, that's interesting. I keep getting more and more type 1. Hi, Ashley. Diabetics readings. It's so interesting because my son is. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Kathy put helping parents heal in the chat for anybody. I'm just looking through the Kirby. So true. It's Kirby. Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. Like when my son got diagnosed, he couldn't play basketball anymore, and he was a really good basketball player. He couldn't regulate his blood sugar. It would be 400 at halftime, so he had to quit. But he played golf and did really well. So, all right. Yeah, it makes your blood acidic, Kirby. Okay. It's very frustrating with the click live. It keeps popping up. Click like keeps popping up. Oh, thank you, Carol. Carol, I don't feel like I look so good. I feel like I look terrible because I've been sick. But thank you. Do you do so? What do I do so? I think half of that got cut off. All right, so let's do a card pull. And if you have any questions, thank you for all the comments and support to Christian's mama. So self-love is the first card that I had pulled earlier. It's the foundation of all love. And I love that because if we don't love ourselves, we can't fully love others. That doesn't mean neglect people who depend on you. That doesn't mean prioritize you over your children. That doesn't mean anything like that. That means love yourself enough to know when you need to put up a boundary. Love yourself enough to know when you need a break. Love yourself enough to feed yourself good food and make sure you get plenty of rest and treat yourself when you can. That's what that means. It doesn't mean neglect people who depend on you. Also, love yourself to know when to say no to taking care of people who can take care of themselves. A lot of us, many women especially, get roped into taking care of people who can take care of themselves, and we end up in a spiral of doing that, and we need to pull back on that. Do you do spirit-led mediumship? Yeah, sometimes I do. Like the lady who just came on, that was just, she asked a question and her son popped right in. So yeah, let's see, what time is it? I can do one more reading. All right, I have a Did you watch the replay, Ivory? So when I'm doing readings, I always post them. I post my lives most of the time on YouTube. Tanisha, are you looking for a private reading or a reading on here? My private readings? Oh, good. I'm glad. My private readings are linked to my bio, peacefulnikthemedium.com. They're buy one, get one free right now. So if you book a private reading, you will get a free private reading, or it's 2 people can come to the same reading with no extra charge. Okay, Tanisha, who do you want to talk to? I feel a male presence already. Oh, where'd she go? Well, she was here. Now I don't see anything. Okay, yeah, I feel the male, which is your brother. Can I bring you on screen? Can I invite you? You don't have to show your face. Let me see. I'll invite you. Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so is somebody in this scenario your brother or one of the other folks you mentioned dealing with addiction? But I feel like it's your brother.
Yes, that was definitely my brother.
Okay. He's like screaming, sorry, 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 like big letters, big capital, sorry, exclamation point, sorry, exclamation point, over and over. Do you understand why he would be apologizing?
Yes.
And he's like, it wasn't my fault. So did he like accidentally OD or something?
Yeah, you're right. Spot on. Oh my god, this is crazy. Yeah. So, yeah, can I preach you a little bit more about that? Okay, so
Sure.
he was fighting for active addiction for a very long time. Then he got 1 year sober, moved to Florida, gained custody of his son, and came back. And he said if he came back home because he was coming to visit, that he would die. And he went and hung out with somebody, I'm sure that, and
Took too big of a
him being
dose after.
sober for a whole year.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. And now he's like, um, did you have to take his son in for a period of time?
My grandmother did before she
Oh,
passed.
okay. Because he makes me feel like he wants to thank the person who is taking care of his son. And he said, please try to make sure he doesn't follow in my footsteps.
Yes, absolutely.
And then does somebody share your brother's name? Does his son or nephew or somebody have his first or middle name?
No.
Okay, because he's talking about his name, or somebody have it tattooed on them.
Well, me and my younger brother are looking to get his name.
Okay, so he approves. He said he approves. He approves of getting the name tattoo. And he's
Yay.
having me write name in cursive. So I don't know if you're looking at specific designs.
Yes.
That's just him acknowledging that he hears you guys talking about that and he approves. And he's like, check mark. It's an honor. It's an honor. Um, and he's he's saying the words DJ, and I don't know if those are initials or if somebody in your life is a DJ or he ever worked as a DJ. You understand any of that?
Not at the moment.
Okay, that's okay. Did he go to, I don't know, he showed like clubs and stuff? Like, did he party at clubs?
Oh, he loved hippie festivals and music
Oh,
and guitar music.
okay. All right. Yeah, because I'm like, it's wild there. It's like wild.
Yeah.
Um, did he like hallucinogenic drugs?
He did, yes, as well. Not That's not what his addiction was though.
Okay, because I feel like I'm seeing people with making bubbles, like at a party or
Yes,
something.
it would be. Yeah, that would be the festival.
Oh, okay, because I'm like, see somebody with a big bubble maker, like making
Yes.
big bubbles. Okay. So he's like very sorry. His big message is he's sorry. He doesn't want his son to follow in his footsteps. And he's like, but the main thing is tell him the truth at the age that it's appropriate. So how old is his son?
His son is now 7.
Okay, so give him. He's like the most important thing is give him the information that's appropriate for his age, and as he gets older and asks more questions, always tell him the truth, but at an age appropriate level.
Okay.
He wants you to know that it's important for him to know the dangers of drugs, the dangers of alcohol, and how if you internalize pain, it comes out as addiction.
Yes.
Because your brother went through a lot of crap, and that's why he was an addict, which is what failure to face and move through our pain is what causes all addiction. And when we're not taught properly how to face and move through our pain, then we become addicts. And that's just prevalent in our society. I come from a family of addicts. So
you try to numb it, and ultimately it becomes worse and not better.
Exactly, because you're just masking it and masking it and masking it, and you never deal with it. And so just know the most important thing is make sure my son knows the truth at the right time, with the right words. Don't sugarcoat the dangers of drugs. Make sure when he has feelings, it's okay for him to express his feelings, because your brother makes me feel like he suppressed his feelings, like he wasn't given the opportunity to express himself growing up. Like he had some stuff happen and he kind of pushed it down.
Absolutely.
And he's like, make sure that doesn't happen to his son. He's just like very adamant about it. He's like, that's not his journey. His journey should be very different from mine.
Yes.
And then he's talking about artwork. He says artwork. So I don't know if that's him or his son doing artwork, or some recently put up a piece of art, like a drawing or something. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And then I don't know if this is a big mural or a big piece of graffiti or something. Did he ever do anything like that? Or do you live by something like that, or recently see a big piece of artwork outside somewhere?
He artwork or what
like you know how people spray paint murals outside?
Yes.
That's what he's showing me.
Yes.
Did he do that?
Well, there was one where we lived in the city that we lived that he would always bring us to.
Awesome. Perfect. So he's having me draw like all these squiggly lines and talking about the big piece of artwork on the street. Okay, awesome. So these are just validations of him saying, look, I'm here, I'm okay, I'm safe, I'm at peace. And his most important thing is his son. Make sure to take care of his emotional health.
Yes.
That's the most important thing.
Yay.
And he's sorry and he loves you, and he definitely, it was an accident. He's like, I just took too much.
Yeah.
When I was clean for so long and my body just couldn't take it. Thank you. What was your brother's name?
His name is Stephen Christopher Alfano.
Stephen. Okay. Thank you very much, Tanisha, for letting me connect.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And you believe that they're all together, because he passed away 4 years ago, and then my mom passed away 2 years ago, and then my grandma just passed away in August. I think a lot of it had to do with my mom is because she lost her firstborn.
Mm-hmm. So we live in soul families. So if you're interested, you can read a book about it. Journey of Souls by Dr. Michael Newton. You can get it for like $12 on Amazon.
Okay.
Screenshot that if you want.
Yep, I did that. Thank you.
And we all reincarnate many times together, and we all have a journey to learn from each other and like come back over and over and over. Sometimes you could be the brother and he could be the sister. Sometimes you could be the mom and he could be your son. Your family's all, and your for people you're closest to. It doesn't have to be biological family. You all come back together over and over again to teach each other different lessons. And so you go back to the spirit world or heaven and you're reunited with your family, whether they're biological or not biological. And you decide, oh, what are we going to do next time? What are we going to do next time? What are we going to learn next time? And so, yes, they all come back over and over and over again together and go back to the spirit world and will be greeted by each other. So when your grandma passed, she would be greeted by her daughter and your brother.
Okay, good.
So, yes, they will all be together.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I will be booking a reading with you. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you. I have a BOGO special right now.
Absolutely. I will be getting to that. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for channeling in.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Am I still here? Okay. I am going to go. I've been on for an hour and my voice can't take it. I need to go rest. I am going to go take a break and have some dinner. And then I'll probably come back around 8 o'clock Eastern tonight. So in about 4 hours. Thank you for everybody, for the follows, for the likes, and all of that. And I will be live tonight about 8 and definitely on YouTube tomorrow at 8. So thank you for joining me and thank you for your support. And I will see you guys later tonight. And thank you, Kathy, for helping me and typing all the stuff in. And I have a buy one, get one free special right now. I have relationship guidance, not predictions, guidance, all on my website. Spirit Exchange is March 2nd. And we're revamping for the next round of Spirit Exchange, and we'll be posting about that. That's me and Kathy. And I will see you guys later tonight. Good night. Bye, everybody.